looks good. Let's... Okay, and it looks like we are live. Welcome, viewers. So, let's see. On Monday, because I was under the weather yesterday, was unable to set up my computer long enough to try to stream. So Monday, let's see, we visited the Elk Temple, cleared that up, so the fog is starting to dissipate. Right. Rescued Lindsay. Well, I think I was heading... Okay, now... Talk to companions and head out for cave. Okay. So yeah, I cleared the stuff out and need to talk to people because it was late. Okay. Let's see, can I... I wish it would let me try again. Looked like all I had was a couple of torches. Okay. I will need to go sell some stuff. But I will talk to people first. What do you want? Have a little chat? Alright. It's not like we have anything better to do. Tell me about yourself. What is there to know? I was born. I'm alive. I haven't died yet. That enough for you? Do you remember your childhood? What a crap question. I was just a kid when they sold me. Before that, I don't remember much. Smoky fires, stinky hides, always bumping along on a horse. I think I was born in one of the Kelid tribes of Numeria. There are many. Some survive on their own, some give up their pride and serve the Technic. I guess mine was one of the cowards, if they sold their own kids. I remember my father's hands. Rough, scarred, white. So I guess I get this green skin from my mother. But I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child. A brother, maybe. For some reason they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave him his dagger to play with. Never gave it to me. I don't want to remember. Forget all this. I'm an orphan. Regengar waves his hand wryly. I grew up a slave. That I remember well. So many things burned into my memory. Most of all, I remember her, my Octavia. Today we are almost the same age, but back then she was twice as young as me. Just a child. But a brave one, cunning, bold, and beautiful, the most beautiful girl in the world. What deity do you worship? Ha! I never got much help from the gods so far, but if you make me choose, I'd say Calistria. Who else could I worship? The savored sting? The goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge? Oh, yes! Where did you get your magical powers? What magical powers? The hells are you talking about? Oh, you mean these? Regengar makes lightning run over his hands with a contented smile, then snaps his fingers, invoking a shower of blinding sparks. I've had them since I was born. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me to slavery. Think they were scared? Who knows? Damn Numerians. Technically, they drew my blood, did experiments, burned me with fire, tortured me with cold, electricity, and they told me, you won't believe it, They told me I have blue dragon blood in my veins. Not bad, huh? I'm a dragon, you freaks. Come check my blood, if you dare. Grinning, Ragnar strikes his palm with a fist, and another fountain of electric sparks shoots upwards. What do your tattoos mean? They are magical. They help me control my powers. The Technic League gave them to me. I'd hoped that somewhere on my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe. But no, I guess they didn't care to bother. To hell with them. They better hope I never find them. If I ever meet my father, I will even the score between us. Okay. How do you manage to use both a sword and magic, and not cut off your fingers? Ha 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 ha. It's simple. I'm just that bloody good. The half-orc gives a contented grin. Do you enjoy making people suffer? Pff, why should I care about their suffering? I do what I want. If I step on someone's toes, then they shouldn't have put themselves in my way. But chasing someone down just to torture them? That's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second thought, ha ha ha. For them I would make an exception. I love to watch as I fry them nice and slow. But why do you ask? Do my methods shock you? Ragnar clenches his fist, buzzing with sparks, and laughs loudly at his joke. Let's see. Now, let's see. So long as you're in my party, try to control yourself. I don't like meaningless atrocities. If you say so, you're the boss. We'll make sure all our atrocities are meaningful. Ha ha ha. Wouldn't want to upset the boss. Thank you for your answers. Thanks, don't fill a purse. Haha, I'm just kidding. Tell me about your life in Numeria. You mean my life as a slave? I didn't see much except for the slave barracks and the League's twisted laboratories. I was sold by my own tribe when I was just a little brat. So I grew up in a slave barracks. I was raised to be sold, just like a battle animal. They tried to break me, but they picked the wrong brat. No matter how much you beat this animal, he only gets angrier. Why did your masters teach you magic? Can't you guess? Because magic is in my blood. It's why they bought me. I wasn't raised as some lowly mop slave, but as a murder machine. I'd fetch quite a nice sum of gold. You might also ask if they knew I'd take the first opportunity to rip their own guts out, using everything they taught me. Ha! Of course they did. That's the Technic League. They calculate risk. Octavia kept pretending to be simple-minded, so they wouldn't expect anything of her. But I made every effort, though they didn't teach me much. What is there to teach? It's not book magic, it's innate. They made me practice with my sword more, but I did my best in everything. I studied all I could. They knew they were raising an enemy, but they thought they could keep me on a short leash, or sell me to someone with deep pockets so I'd become someone else's problem. But who won in the end? Huh? Who is free? Who will bury them all? What else did you see beyond your life in chains? What could I have seen? Well, when we ran, we went through Starfall. That's a fine city. Big, loud, many merchants, things to see, things to steal. But I didn't have much chance to walk around. It's the very nest of the sodding Technic League. We were focused more on getting out alive. We met some barbarians. I asked them who might know what tribe I'm from, but they didn't know anything. I don't have any tribal tattoos. Nothing. Actually, they are all right. Well, some of them. The blood Gars, for one. They're great. All the rivers are theirs. We sailed with them during one of our escapes, almost all the way to Brevoy, and they didn't turn us in. But the White Scars got us after that. Those guys are shit. They've sold their pride to the Technic League. Oh, one more thing. One time Octavia and I tried to escape, and stumbled across a Numerian monster. I'll never forget it. A huge spider the size of a house. Made of metal. Spitting fire, shooting deadly rays all around. That thing could probably tear even a dragon to pieces. Ruined our escape plans too. We had to go back. Then you and Octavia tried to escape. He's just told me about that. What do you think? Of course we tried. I stopped counting how many times. Jumped from windows, dug tunnels, checked out guards, or seduced them. That happened too, haha. But those dirtbags caught us every time. Every bloody time. My back is covered with whip scars. Lucky we were prized property. They'd spent too much gold on us to kill us. Anyone else would be hung and forgotten. But they kept trying to break us and recoup their expenses. I don't know whether I could have survived by sheer stubbornness. If it weren't for Octavia, I probably couldn't have. I would have just given up and died. But I had to pull my girl out of that meat grinder, and she believed in me and had enough hope for both of us. When I lay there with my back slashed to pieces, she whispered to me about the River Kingdoms, where there's no slavery, where everyone can go wherever they want and take whatever they want. I'll be damned, but I thought she was just making this up to keep our hopes alive, and now it turns out to be true. All of it, every last word. No chains, no slaves, no laws. Just live and be happy. Slavery legal in Numeria? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There are some laws against it, but even in Starfall, a third of the people live in bondage. And that's the capital. In regions where the Black Sovereign's hand doesn't reach, they hold to tribal customs instead of laws. The barbarians don't keep slaves. Instead, they have thralls. Big bloody difference. And on top of all that mess, there's the Technic League. Law and custom mean nothing to those slimeballs. They just take whatever and whoever they want. Thank you for your answers. Ask away. What kind of relationship do you have with Octavia? Well, Octavia and I don't have a relationship. We have a life together. How did you meet? Back when we were children, we were taken as apprentices by a great spellmaster, Janusz. Maestro Janusz, he called himself. He was our teacher. Well, he made Octavia read books and memorize spells. I have my own innate magic. He trained me a bit, taught how to control my gifts, so I wouldn't lose control and incinerate myself like a dumbass. Oh, teacher, we will meet again. There's one more test I must pass. But you were asking about my Octavia. We've been together all our lives. We learned everything together, how to weave magic, how to survive, and as we grew older, we learned how to love. Without each other, we would never have gotten out of there, that's for sure. We would have given up and surrendered to death. But together, that's a very different story. Not the first time, and not the 10th, but eventually we made it out. Why do you call her yours? She doesn't seem to like that very much. My girl loves freedom so much, and even a slight chance of losing it frightens her. She is so smart. You really think she feels like I'm trying to make her mine, like an apple stolen at a market? Me, who was skinned alive for trying to help her escape? If she's afraid of the word my, it's because she doesn't understand the difference between my boots and my heart. But she will understand, sooner or later. Are you and Octavia faithful to each other? Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other, you know? Jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust each other and are scared of being tricked. If a knight on the side threatens your love, that just means there was no real love there to begin with. She and I are together, to the end, and we will never part from each other. So when she likes some lad or some lass, it's no drama to me. I just ask her whether she wants me to leave them alone or join in, and she does the same. Ha ha! What, are you judging us? Or maybe you just want to join us in our tent, hmm? I'm not here to judge, just curious. You asked, I answered. When you pry into others' lives, don't be surprised if you find something that will keep you up at night. Haha. Thank you for your answers. I'll have to go so long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when I answer. Hee hee hee. Hello. Octavia smiles at you flirtatiously. Got any good news? Could you tell me about your childhood, please? Too little. Scraps of memories, no more than that. What exactly do you remember? Nothing special. Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint on them was peeling off, and I was standing on my toes, trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose by the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender. Octavia wrinkles her forehead. I guess that's all. Not much there, right? All those memories. It's like they're not mine at all. I recall some images, and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember what exactly I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with tassels worms. Octavia grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. What do you know about your parents? You're a half-elf, right? Am I? Octavia examines herself as if seeing herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hands and touches her ears. Aha! They're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let's think about that logically. So, my mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around, and my mother was a... Finally, Octavia can't take it anymore and bursts into laughter, having spoiled her own act. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do, she says after her laughter subsides. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge potbelly and shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me, Octavia shrugs. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose, and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? Octavia twirls her hair, pondering over the thought, then sighs. One more riddle from my past that I don't care to solve. It must be horrible, being unable to recall your childhood. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed. Octavia smiles humorously. No, I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably just bring me more pain. Octavia shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. I want to ask you about something else. Will you tell me about your life in slavery? I don't like to recall it, but if you insist, Octavia frowns. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do was ruin my childhood. Okay, so I will, she doesn't want to recall it. Let's talk about something else. Octavia stops you, gently touching her hand. Wait, I want to tell you. She sighs and shakes her head as if trying to collect her thoughts. The Technic League agents you rescued us from. Reg and I tried to run away many times, but they always managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this time they've lost track of us for good. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just go with, I won't anyone, I cannot talk. I won't let anyone harm those who are dear to me. Whatever happens, you can count on me. Octavia raises her eyes to you and gives you such a warm smile that you're unable to not smile back. In the depths of her eyes, you notice something that wasn't there before. This unnamed feeling hides in a moment, but you're sure you know what it was. Trust. Thank you, Octavia whispers, touching her shoulder. Suddenly she frowns in contemplation, twirling her locks. Still, I'd like to find them first. What kind of relationship do you have with Ragnar? Octavia shrugs awkwardly. We're together, she answers simply. The way you said we're together sounded unconvincing. Something wrong? You noticed? Well, I didn't mean that. No, I'll have to explain. Octavia shakes her head. I'm not sure I know how to put it correctly. You see, Reg seems to treat me like his property. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together, or when we share a blanket at the campsite. But he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, that I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. I bet he likes to think that I'm his. Never mind, though. I'll sort it out somehow. Octavia shakes her head, making the troubling thoughts go away. When did you meet Reg? Years ago, when I was studying magic at Maestro Janusz's. Reg was his student too, though you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg had his own ways to cast spells. He never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws power directly from his innate bloodline abilities. Janusz didn't realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student. And when he finally understood them, he just taught the negligent half-orc to control his powers to avoid harming himself or the others. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but more importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other that someday we'd break free from the unbearable captivity or die trying. Together. Octavia gives you a warm smile. I guess it's good that we fulfilled only the first part of that vow. You owe him much? Octavia winces. I don't like this owe word. I don't owe anything to anybody. Everything I do of my own free will. But to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. I can't count how many times he was whipped by masters because of me, how many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten and covered in blood, to the slave barracks. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy clothing. We've always been together, my whole life, as slaves and as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him. The fact that Reg is so impulsive doesn't bother you? Ah, that. That is a very delicate matter. Octavia winces, looking away. Reg means a lot to me, and he endured a lot for me, but some parts of him just scare me. He becomes extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. Don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart, and I'll do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth. But Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in him. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times, but he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier after our conversations. Octavia sighs sadly. Let's change the subject. What do you need to find the Technic agents? I broke free from slavery. Thanks to you, I've obtained everything I dreamed of, my freedom and the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technic League, at least the part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves from their Technic League masters. Octavia gives you a warm smile and gently touches your hand. I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot, even this. It's amazing how, after all your hardships, you still remain so cheerful and optimistic. Octavia's smile fades a little. I try not to view my life as a never-ending course of sufferings. Yes, I've had my share of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, along with the bad things, I had some good things as well. I had a dream, and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following that path, I met Reg and you. Now I'm free and surrounded by friends. Octavia's voice trembles with hidden emotions, but her smile remains warm and sincere. You worship Calistria, right? Yes, many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some even offered deals to the evil gods. But me and Reg, Calistria has taught us the most important things. Expect no gifts from above. Rely only on ourselves. Never forgive those who wronged us. But, at the same time, savor every droplet of pleasure we could squeeze from our bleak days. I just have to ask, how do you manage to look so gorgeous even when we're out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, so you've noticed? Octavia smiles slyly. My appearance is the result of daily effort, and it's not easy. Do you know how much time it takes to create good makeup or to mend a dress even with the help of magic? So if someday you wake up early, an hour before dawn or so, you can actually check on me. You'll see how I prepare myself for a new day. Yeah, I'll go with the non-faction or non-alignment answer. Oh, Octavia, the flower of the Stolen Lands. You're as beautiful as you are dangerous. You strike down monsters with your spells as you strike down people with your beauty. You're a real sweet talker. I feel all flushed. Octavia fans herself with a hand. Well, now I'll have to pay even more attention to my looks. For now, I know for sure that there's someone who appreciates my efforts. Alright, we'll talk later. Sure, Octavia agreed. Gives you a friendly smile. Come anytime. I still won't be able to do... I have better skills. Oh, that's me. I don't think Lindsay has. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oil 8 August is an oil. Okay. Let me think about it. Just trying to get through these. Let's get on. Okay. Okay, so she's done talking. So what do I have anyway? Okay. Yeah, I wish I could make that one disappear since... Oh, there we go. Just turn off the completed quest and then I can't see it. Okay, so I need fangberries, moon radishes. Did I not? Okay, so I haven't talked to Jode. That's why. Okay, I will talk to Jode in a moment. Let's go talk to Oleg. Okay. Let's see here. Where's the... Okay, so that's just trash. Wait, let's... Go to... Let's cook it. Okay. There we go. There's... See, I don't care about the notes because they don't weigh anything. Or the written orders. Books weigh a little bit, but not enough to make me be concerned. Let's see. Okay, lots of cooking ingredients. That's... I guess that's just Seljong. Okay, pretty much the rest of this, I believe, is just... Yeah, cooking stuff. There's studded leather and regular hide armor. Can get rid of both of those. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna insult him. Okay, and thanks for the conversation. Okay, let's see what's...
All according to plan.
Let's go talk with Tristan. And then I can talk to Jode. Okay. enjoy traveling. Oh, yes. Doesn't being outside the temple make you uncomfortable? Okay. Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it. For my mission here isn't yet done. Yes, do you wish me to leave your lands? Let's see. Of course not. You are my comrade in arms. I trust you completely. Let's go something else. Tell me. Goodness, what happened to... the pits of Gormaz. Okay. Something else. Okay. So, the priests themselves, the difficult questions you ask, questions wise men have debated for centuries. Does a being that has been tainted by evil to its very roots, that rejects its own salvation, still deserve compassion? Can those compelled to do evil by others still seek forgiveness? There is no easy answers on these issues among Serenary's followers. As for me, I believe that every soul carries the potential for goodness within. No matter the crime, the guilty may find forgiveness if they repent and cast off the evil that led to the deed. I believe this with all my heart, Svenhard. I'll just never before. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just brought you to these lands. Curses are you talking about? Come a great distance indeed. Jotzi premonition. Just other acolytes at my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. Yeah, my faith is strong. Okay, I should go. Pleasure. Because I need to speak to
How may I serve you? Erastu be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation.
Well, thank you, Jot.
As far as I know, your next target looks to be the Stag Lord himself. With the Temple of the Elk cleansed of evil, the fog surrounding us should disperse to reveal the path to the brute's lair. Of course, magic so powerful is unlikely to disappear all at once. Bide your time. Follow up on other concerns while you wait. I will gladly aid you on your noble quest. Erastil himself foresaw our meeting.
Do you understand the true meaning of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself, quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you, and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Christian is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Christian and for you, Baroness. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the stag god lead you down the true path. As you wish. That's why I'm here. As you wish. What exactly would my story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance, and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption. Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from a long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport, and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Galt. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things. Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying. Imagine how my mind raced when here in the Stolen Lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession. For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask. For me, I found Galt a violent place. Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn. For me, it is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress. As you wish. Of course, it would be my pleasure. Erasti is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city. Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village. I'm glad to hear you agree. These days, many are deaf to the wisdom of generations. The word demand does not befit the stag god. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the stag god comes to our aid in times of need and strife. I see it more clearly every day. Erastil himself led me to meet you. Your keen spirit will serve you well. I am happy to help.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's got a lot of scrolls. Don't... Diamonds and diamond, yeah. Let's... Okay. I guess I'm ready to head on out then.
In due time.
Let's go actually do something instead of just talking. Yeah, that looks good. Oh. Let's see. Very well. Okay, I don't see anything behind me. Oh, bandit illusionist, huh?
Let us strike as one!
And a bandit.
What for Gorum? No, air. Tear them apart!
Ow.
No, air.
Do not falter!
Okay. Okay. No, no. Okay. Still stunned. Now she finally gets up. Okay.
All according to plan.
Head on to the next. Yeah, no, I don't want that. Enter. Okay, let's start exploring. Find the secrets of the area.
This should do it.
To victory!
Oof. Knock it off. There we go. One down. Wow. Okay, oh, come on.
Ha!
Take all of that. So it says I missed the little spot here. Oh, I guess it's just a... Yes, enemy swarms. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, no,
All
I hate
according
them.
to plan.
Okay. Well, that should
In
be...
due time.
Should mean that there's nothing to pick up here. Time to head into the cave.
That is not far. Share your
One
trouble.
of the things I should have done, huh? There we go. Cure mod runes on her.
Magritium, Turinos.
Okay, let's see. She's got.
We will prevail.
I'm not doing it wrong! The spell is flawed!
Let us strike as one.
You deserved it.
Repent!
Okay, well, I don't want everybody just. They need to run away.
Do not falter.
Okay, kind of.
A calculated risk.
Okay, nice. So let's get these guys. Well, let's get these guys out of here. And this is gonna color spray. Get over here. Come on. Okay.
Onwards.
This will hurt.
Protect me. Hey, please. Can someone help me?
Oh, she's getting.
What? I die a miserable last chapter.
No. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay. Nobody's quite done yet. Okay, so I'm gonna use that. Use that one. There, since you're right here.
Hey, can someone help me?
You need to get up and move. Okay, so you're cast. You really need... She's right there, so she'll throw at this one. She'll throw at that one. Okay, there we go. You get out of there. Coins, ring, and mage armor.
I cannot make this work. I'm glad to help.
Okay, now let's get out of here with my fangberries and go turn them in. Where was all that stuff? We'll collect all that. It's all good stuff. Okay, now to go to the outpost with my berries, and then I can hopefully sleep off all of this stuff. Yeah, try a different character, returning to try again at a higher level. How many more levels do I need to get before it will let me? Oh wait, I need to talk to Vulcan. Nice, I get potion discounts now. Okay. So there we go. Something
All
else
according
off the
to plan.
list. I'm going to try to go. I'm gonna go rest, and it's looking like it's about that time. So whatever. Okay. Only 8 hours. Not bad. Okay, anyhow, saving. Save. We're going to click to edit. I'm just going to be head out on next task. Okay, there we go. And that's going to be it. So, thank you for watching. Until next time.